Hello everyone, these are going to be your messages for the full moon on September 13th. I can't believe it's already September 13th. How fast time flies. All right, so this is a last minute thing where I felt this urge to do a video. So I actually don't quite know what's going to come out, but I am trusting what's going to come out is exactly what needs to come out. All right, so I did pull out some cards. And I wanted to have a little bit of focus on a little bit of focus. So as we are transiting from the full moon to the new moon, we essentially are leaving certain cycles behind. So for those of you who are moving in a certain direction, or you started something new, or you started something different, or in a process of completing something, the first message is you are safe. Okay? For some of you, actually a lot of you, the safety feeling shows up in your physical body, in your solar plexus. So what's coming through right now is if you have had issues in your solar plexus, even if it means, I'm just turning the music down, even if it means digestive problems, these may have been stemming from you feeling unrest inside, or another way of saying it, not having a whole bunch of peace. So peace is important for many reasons. Number one, it makes us feel good. Who doesn't want peace? But peace is also how we generate in terms of how we function, and it's also what our body responds to. So when we feel a lot of fear and when we feel a lot of doubt, we become stressed. Everything is stressed. Your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, everything is your spiritual body, everything is stressed. But I'm supposed to say to you, you are safe. You are safe. So if you are moving from a cycle, from a situation, from a relationship, or simply just on a way to somewhere and you don't know what that is yet, the message here is you are safe. Now, if you are, God forbid, in a place where someone is being abusive to you, I'm clearly not saying stay there because you're safe. That's not what I'm saying. But if this is the case, and this would be an isolated case, I hope, then the message is doing the right things for you, ensuring a good outcome during that, and taking a chance, you will be safe. In other words, it is safe for you to exit from this situation. Now, everyone is different. People have different situations. So I'm not saying leave if something is holding you back. But what's said here, and this has got to be at least for one person, if you are struggling with should I or shouldn't I, and or you think you know you should, but you just, for whatever reason, you're afraid to take the first step, Spirit is saying it's safe for you to take action now, okay? Obviously, whatever your situation is, if it's necessary, you have to talk to somebody. So if you are being in a situation where somebody's being abusive, you have to talk to somebody, a professional perhaps, or authority figure. But what's being said here is you will be protected. You will be protected. Okay, so I don't know who this is for. It seems very, very specific. For the rest of us, it's to have that knowing that no matter what, Spirit is looking after us. And sometimes we don't feel it. Sometimes we don't believe it. Sometimes we just don't even think that it exists because we seem to beg for stuff and nothing happens. But the reality is you always have support, and support surrounds you at all times. So perhaps take a moment and ask yourself, what would it take for me to believe that I am safe through this, that I will be safe? What would it take for you to believe that you would be safe? Well, it would be you seeing yourself in action and seeing nothing is happening or nothing bad is happening. But that's like putting the cart before the horse. If you believe you are not safe, then chances are you will be reliving that non-safety space. So it's a bit convoluted here, but I think there's a message for all of us here. At the end of the day, what does it do when we accept the fact that Spirit is looking after us? We affirm the fact that we are always connected, even though we may not know so, or we may not remember, or we may not believe. Just because the sun is not shining right now, for example, doesn't mean the sun isn't there. The sun isn't there. The sun is always there. It's just from your perspective and conditions, you're unable to see it. There is a limitation blocking you from it, right? But bottom line is, when we allow ourselves to believe, or when we allow ourselves to hear that we are being looked after, we begin to relax, okay? And relaxation is a state of mind and your body as well, right? I don't know, can you have your body relaxed and your mind tense? Can you have a relaxed body and tense mind? I don't actually know if that's possible. I think in order for you to have a relaxed body, you have to have a relaxed mind, because it is your mind that operates your body. So those two are going together. There's a message here. It's very interesting. It's how it's coming across. So know that you're safe. Obviously, don't run out on the street and wait for the bus to hit you, wondering, is it going to hit me, or am I going to go through it? Oh, that's not what I'm saying. Bigger picture. There's a bigger message in this. Okay? Now, why might this be coming through? Well, for some of you, you have been lost, or you have been feeling lost with no direction. And this lack of direction may have left you slightly out of kilter or out of balance. And when we are in a state of imbalance, we have difficulty seeing what's true and what's not true. And also, it makes it much more difficult to know or decide or realize what it is that we want in terms of choices. So there seems to be a bit of a identity crisis for some of you. And it's temporary, thank God. It is an important process to go through. And essentially what's being said here is, wherever you are, whoever you are, whoever we are, whatever we are going through our own transformations, feeling lost temporarily is not such a bad thing. Because oftentimes when we get lost, we resort to thinking outside the box. That's interesting. So if you have been feeling out of sorts, if you have been feeling out of balance, out of kilter, if you have been creatively stuck, if you have felt no desire or no drive, then allow yourself to have it. Sometimes it's necessary, but also know this is transitory. It's not going to last for very long. The 10 of Swords came up, which is my symbol for, oh goodness, for end of a cycle in terms of how you think. And how you think is how you create. So the next card is fluidity, which is another word for trust. Trusting the river of life. So when we know that we are safe, okay, when we know that we're safe and protected, then we can relax, okay? When we relax, it's a little bit easier to trust. And when we trust life to take us wherever it is that we are going, providing you're not sitting there like a log and saying, you know, take me, providing that you're participating. But at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Hey, you don't know what's going to happen in an hour from now. The fact is that you don't think about it because you've done it. I mean, you've lived so many days. It's apparent to you that life goes on, so you don't focus on the fact that you don't know what might happen in an hour. In other words, you trust it. You trust the process. You've lived it before. You trust it. You trust it, okay? And when you begin to trust the universe, when you begin to trust spirit, magnificent things begin to happen. And you may call them coincidence, you may call them miracles, you may call them many other things. But what ends up happening is, it's like the universe says, yes, they've asked, they want to create, they're playing their part in terms of how they're participating, they're trusting, they're more relaxed. Now we're able to give them. So this is an interesting message, specifically for Friday the 13th. And many people think Friday the 13th is unlucky. I don't normally think that. I try not to put labels on too many things. But it's an interesting message coming at this time. And why was this so important to say? Your participation in life is required. You're always participating. But how you participate will yield corresponding results. So if your engagement in life is one of non-trusting, then you're not going to be trusting the river of life. You're going to be pushing against it. You're going to be resisting as hell. And when that happens, well, it's like trying to resist water from flowing. The damn water is going to find some way to go. You can't stop it, right? You have to give it an outlet. So there's something interesting going on here, and I can't quite put a finger on it, but maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe I'm just supposed to say all these things, and all these things will find you, whoever you are. But the one thing that I will say is that many of us are in a place where we can cut out some old chains, or free ourselves from old chains. So this is my symbol for karma, for karmic relationships. And this karmic component has to do with, guess what? Feeling safe and secure. So if you have been feeling not safe and not secure, maybe most of your life to some degree, this time offers opportunities to shift that around, to help you shift that around. The universe can do it for you. You'll do it. You'll participate in it, but the universe will support you. And that is letting go of the old chains, cutting the old cords, getting rid of the devil, so to speak, or your attachments to whatever you have been attached to that made you feel not safe and not secure. And no longer carrying that burden forward. So a full moon is completions. Full moon is completions. And to me, this is a sign of completions as well. And it's a massive completion at that. So will you complete this cycle of feeling unsafe and secure today, Friday the 13th, on September the 13th? No. or at least probably not. But in time, in not so too distant future, you will begin to experience feeling less and less of feeling unsafe and not secure within yourself, okay? Universe always supports you in wherever you're going. Even if you're going in a wrong direction, the universe will support you in that, because that's what the universe does. The universe will support you. The universe will tell you, don't go there, but universe will support you. It's always supportive of wherever you go. So it is important for you to know where you're going, particularly in your mind. What's your intention? If you are leaving one relationship, for example, ask yourself, what did this relationship teach you about yourself that you didn't know before? And what would you like to have that's different? And then make that your intention. And ask yourself, once you have the intention, clear intention, then ask yourself, who do I have to become in order to align myself with that intention? Okay? If you have not been feeling enough to some degree, chances are, even in relationships, you would have probably felt that somehow you would be feeling not enough. That comes from you internally feeling a certain way about you. So if you want a relationship where you feel enough, you have to ask yourself, who do I have to become in order to get that? And the answer is simple. You have to become a person that is enough already. That is enough. Because you are enough. You're always enough. You always will be enough. You were always enough from the very beginning. Your logical mind may not think so. Our society may tell you otherwise, but you've always been enough. You will always be enough. You are pure perfection. Okay? So remember that when you're having a moment of doubt and when you're thinking, what the hell am I doing? Remember, you're here for many reasons, but one of the most important reasons why you are here is you are here simply to love. Not necessarily to love somebody. You're here to love because you are love. You are pure light. You're love. That's what you're made of. You are love. You're it. You're it, baby. You're it. Therefore, you are here to be you. And if you are love, you are here to be love. You are here to love. How do you love? That's up to you. How do you accept love? How do you love yourself? How do you deny yourself of love? How do you push love away? How do you sabotage love? How do you express love in terms of your creativity? That's love too. So love isn't just about you loving somebody. Love wears many hats. But at the end of the day, that's really why you're here. You're here to love. You're here to love. That's it. How you love, it's up to you. You decide. You decide how you love. You decide how you love you. If you want to be loved by someone, then you need to be able to be that loving to you. There's just no other way. No one can give you something that they don't have themselves. Each person has to be willing to give it themselves first and then share it with another. Just like you. If you do not fully love who you are, you cannot give that love to somebody else. You cannot give something you're not in a possession of. It doesn't exist. Remember, you are enough. You are whole. You're never lacking. Yes, you might be temporarily lacking some physical thing, but you're not lacking. You're perfect spirit, just as you are. But if you keep telling yourself you're lucky, you're this or that, then you're just stuck in that wheel. You're just stuck in that wheel. And since this is a message for Friday the 13th, the full moon of all moons, then it's now time like the present to accept that you are enough and you are love. Start from those two components. Have those two ingredients as your main ingredients. You are a cake, and those two are your main ingredients. You are whole, and you are love. And then imagine yourself accepting that, and what would that feel like? And then imagine what it would feel like to be whole. What would it feel like to feel whole? Because you already are whole. What would it feel like to feel whole? And the moment you begin to feel what it would be like to feel whole, you are whole in that moment. You're it. It's happening. Same with love. Imagine what it would feel like to be fully in love with you. For me, it was very difficult to imagine for the longest time. Now I have moments and glimpses where I feel it, and it's to such a degree that it overwhelms me. Therefore, I can't feel it all the time because I would be non-functional. But I now know the difference between the one and the other. And I am much more aware that this is really who I am, not who I have always been telling myself for whatever reason. You're no different. You're no different. Think about that. What would it feel like to love you? You loving you. What would it feel like to fully embrace you? To fully acknowledge the divinity that you are? What would that feel like? Imagine. It might take you a while. You might not even understand what that means. That's okay. The point is that if you cannot bring it out of you, you cannot experience it. And it is within you. It is within you. Everything you ever want in terms of a feeling is already within you. You're missing nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're missing the physical manifestation of something you deny yourself, but you're missing nothing. You're always connected. You're always part of all that is. You're always connected to source, God, energy, whatever you want to call it. The only thing that separates you is your physicality and your temporary non-remembering who you really are. But that's not who you are. You are love. Imagine that. And with that said, I think I'm done. I hope this was helpful. If it helped you in some way and you would like to comment, I would love to hear it because I channeled most of it and it was a spur of a moment thing. So yeah, let me know what you think. All right. I wish you best of luck. I'll be doing more of those videos. I can feel it in my bones. I've been stalling for a while, presuming you like it. And let me know what else you'd like to hear. And more than anything, I wish you best of luck, although luck is not what you need. What you need is acceptance, self-acceptance. That's what you need the most. The moment you begin to accept yourself fully, the moment you begin to accept everything about you, even the stuff you don't like. It's okay not to like something. It's okay. But still accept it. Accept the fact that you don't like it and be okay with that. Maybe one day you'll change it. Maybe not. But don't fight it. Accept it. Okay? Remarkable things happen when you begin to accept. And I'm speaking from experience. I wish you best of luck and see you soon.